Hi, it's Old1975 and welcome to PUBG on the Xbox One. This is a fun game that I had with a random teammate. I know it's really annoying, loads of you have been saying I should play with you, and people have been sending me messages saying I should play with them and stuff like that. And here I am playing with a random guy, but I must admit it was by accident. I thought I was dropping into a solos game, somehow it got switched onto duos, and this guy didn't even have a headset. And I didn't even realise I was playing with him. I was in the kitchen at the time dealing with some animals, and when I came back in I was dropping with the AFKers and found that I had a teammate that was halfway across the map. So I grabbed this car and I drove to where he was, which is why I'm a bit behind on looting with this many people left, and it's kind of left me with no ammo. But this was a fun gunfight. I leg it here to try and shoot him with the Winnie at distance, because taking on a shotgun point blank with a Winchester is kind of suicide. But anyway, so if you are one of those people, I will just say this, if you are one of those people that have asked me to play with you, I will try. It's very difficult for me to find the time. I do have a regular crew of people I play PUBG with, and when I'm not playing with them I'm normally on Elite Dangerous, but I am going to try and make time for the people that want to play with me. I'm in my 4 days off, I'm going to try and at least spend one evening playing with people I don't normally play with. We'll just have to see how it pans out. It's going to be really sort of awkward time wise, and sometimes, as many of you know, it's very difficult for me to play online games with the comms, because I end up sat playing with you but I'll be on mute because I've got cockerels crowing and animals going off in the background. But this is pretty much the reason I'm bringing you this gameplay. Was this Winnie kill. That's probably the best shooting I've ever done with the Winchester, so I was particularly chuffed. This whole sequence I thought was really cool, so I thought I'd bring you the game because I played really well in this game. I don't know what it was, but playing with a random teammate and not being able to communicate with him, I kind of didn't want to let him down, so I was trying really hard, trying a lot harder than I would have done if I was playing solo, I can tell you. But it just enjoy the footage, but I'm going to talk about some other subjects as well now. What I really want to talk about with this video is the recent update and the current state of the game. So they've just introduced a load of new content for the game. We've got actual loading screens now, we've got little graphics in the corner of the screen. It actually feels and looks like a video game. PUBG is in a really ridiculously good state compared with where it was on the Xbox One, and also compared to where I ever expected it to be. I never thought they would be able to get PUBG running this well on the Xbox One. I must admit, I thought they were on a pretty much hiding to nothing when it came to PUBG on the Xbox One, because I remember when it got released, the PC players telling me it's barely optimized on PC. It was going to be terrible, it was going to be laggy, it was going to be problematic. When it first arrived on Xbox, it was all of those things. It was very problematic, it was very laggy, it had terrible frame rate issues, desync issues and massive problems. Now they've eliminated like 90% of those problems. It's night and day from where it was to where it is. And it's not perfect, and you still get desync issues and the occasional time when you're shot around a tree. You're always going to get issues with any online game, because online gaming is not a precise thing. But compared to where it was even just a few months ago, it's a joy to play PUBG now and not that much of a chore. Most of the time if we have someone lag out of the game, it's usually down to their internet connection and not the game just dumping them out. We're not seeing a lot of crashes. Well, I'm not anyway, and I play the game a lot, and I'm not, once in a while I'll crash out, but ultimately it's running a lot better than it was. A hell of a lot better than it was. And I've got to say, frame rate wise, it's reasonably consistent. It's consistent enough that your gunfights don't feel too terrible. It's never going to be as good as PC. It's just not. The Xbox isn't that powerful, but it's at a stage where it doesn't feel painful to have a gunfight, which is great. And you get less instances of complete potato aim, which used to be caused by, you know, the frame rate dropping during action sequences. So all in all, I gotta say that PUBG on the Xbox One has come on leaps and bounds. If you did walk away from the game, it is well worth giving it another go around and coming back to it, because trust me, it feels a lot better than it used to. In this short space of time, they've made massive improvements. I am really looking forward to the full release on the 4th of September. They're really going down the right path with this game, and I feel that, you know, if they keep going like they are, this game could be amazing for console, especially for Xbox One. It's so fun to play, and I'm not at all interested or bothered by the new Call of Duty coming around, because I've got this game, and this to me is way more enjoyable than that Call of Duty, you know, is likely to be. You know, I loved Call of Duty. I played a lot of Call of Duty in my time, but looking at what they've done with Black Ops 4, I've got no interest in it, and it would take a lot now to drag me away from Elite Dangerous and PUBG on Xbox. There are a few games that might do it that are coming out, but you know, I'm glad to see how they pan out over time. There's nothing out there at the moment that I'm like, ooh, I really want that. There are a few games that I'm interested to see how they develop, to see whether they're worth getting in the future. One of them still being No Man's Sky. I'm tempted, but not massively. I don't think I've got enough time for another massive epic space sim. Elite Dangerous kind of scratches that itch anyway. But there are a few games out there that I'm having a look at. Doom Eternal is actually one that I'm kind of tempted by, but again, I'm going to have to see how that pans out, because for me, I like the multiplayer experience, and Doom has never really been about multiplayer experience. It's a fun game, but it's not really about that multiplayer competitive shooter style of thing. But we'll have to see. There are a few things on the horizon that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. This game's winding down. There were a couple of moments like there I thought I knocked the guy I should have really pushed, but instead we ended sitting back, and I don't know, it's one of them. It should have, could have, would have with this game, but I'm not unhappy with the amount of kills I got or the placement. It was, I think, fair, considering we were not really a duo that were you know, communicating or playing particularly well. My teammate, I don't know how many kills he got. I'm not even sure if he got any kills, but you know, I got a fair amount of kills, but I had a laugh this game. It was quite fun trying to communicate with someone just via remotes, and it was, like I say, I had some fun. I got hit some really nice shots, even a shot coming up here where I get there's an exchange of fire and I get knocked and I knock a guy, and I thought, you know, if that gunfight had gone slightly differently, if I'd have been wounded and not knocked, you know, I think I could have pushed on to win this game. But you'll see how it pans out. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave the video just playing out on its own for the last bit, and I'll also show you me messaging this guy afterwards to apologise for not, you know, managing to wrap this game up for us. But I'll say that's all, and thanks for watching there. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, how you think the game's progressed, whether you think I'm talking out of my arse and that you think the game runs like a bag of shit. Let me know in the comments down below. But that's all for me talking. Enjoy the rest of this video. I'll let it play out. Thanks.